is the current state of what my trumpet looks like right now. It's just kind of disassembled. Oops. Okay, so after disassembling your trumpet, this is pretty well what it should look like. You can see right through the lead pipe. Ew, look at it! It's so gross! And inside the bell. What you're gonna want to do is submerge your horn in. Because I haven't cleaned mine ever, it's gonna go in for at least a good 2 hours. So just make sure it's fully submerged. This trumpet has never seen the day of water, so this is like a first time for it. Do remember, you want to have a towel on the bottom, like this. Okay, just like that. Get that soap flowing through. Do let it sit for a little bit. Oh my god, it's gonna be so pretty when it's done. Let's just like, it's never had any water go through it, I swear. This is so much fun. I don't think I put enough water in because you can still see the pipe up here and the bell is not completely covered. So just fill up the tub a bit more if your horn isn't completely covered. So I'm gonna do that right now. Do you remember, don't use hot, don't use cold, use lukewarm. You may also ask why lukewarm? Well, because see that shiny silvery lacquer on there? If you get that off the horn, your sound and your overall tone is gonna change. And you're gonna ruin your lacquer. So unless you want to pay to have it re-lacquered, go ahead and start to fill in all your tuning slides and your second valve tube here. I wouldn't worry about that. Just give it a quick rinse and then dry it off. Also, mouthpiece you could probably do separate, but for the sake that I'm doing it all together, I might as well do it all in one. But there's like a little stringy thing there that came out of my trumpet. I don't know what it is. Also, if you get sick a lot and you're not sure why, you should maybe clean out your trumpet. Mouthpiece you can throw in if you want. No big deal. I said I'm not, oh yeah, and then all the valves. So don't put any of the springs or the pads in. Let your mouthpiece and your tuning slides soak for a little bit. Do remember, don't leave these in too long because of the cork. They normally do get wet on a regular basis, so I wouldn't be too worried, but don't leave them in too long so they don't rot. So take your one tuning slide for your third valve, run it through the tube like that. If it doesn't go all the way through, don't force it because you don't want to break it. I'm just gonna use a little washcloth, but to get all that spit and like gunk that's stuck on your one spit valve, just rub in between and get all that stuff off. Rinse that into the tap, and you're going to continue that with all your other tubing slides and lay them out on a towel to dry, so I'll show you that end result. And we have all of our tuning slides and caps all set along here, so we're just going to let them dry. We're going to move on to our valves. So in your cleaning case that you got, your care kit, 2 different brushes besides your snake. So you have this one, looks like a Christmas tree. So this one is your conical. It starts off small and it gets bigger through the end of it. And you have your other one that looks like it might fit in your valve casing. Yeah, so what do you think? This one is for your valve casing. It's the same size all the way through. It is conical like a cone. You want to put that in through your valve kit, but first we're going to do the actual valves first. And then this one you can use every day when you're cleaning your mouthpiece, and you just go... Once you've soaked your valves in the water for at least 10 to 15 or more minutes, depending how dirty they are, do keep in mind I have been taking a Q-tip whenever I need to, just to clean the bottom of my valve here to get that gunk out, as well as in here because it does build up a lot. And as you can see, I am pretty lucky because there's not a whole lot of stuff in the inside where my air flows through, which is great. So we're just going to give it a quick squeege through. Just run that under some lukewarm water and do the same with every other valve, and then set it on the towel to dry. Also, side note, I forgot to just wipe this part down just to get all the old stuff off if you'd like. It's totally optional, but if you're gonna give your trumpet the full bath, you might as well just get right in there. It's been sitting for about almost 2 hours, so just let that water flow through. There's already a bunch of like floaty things in here. There's a black dot right there. There we go. It may pick up a little bit. Seen a little bit there. But yeah, my casings for my valves, sorry, aren't too bad. Some floaty gunk. Do you see that? The whole tube is finally cleaned out. Let's do the inside of the actual bell. So what I'm gonna do now is just clean out the tuning slide areas. So we've already covered our lead pipe right here. So we're gonna work on here for our third valve tuning slide areas, and then afterwards I'll go through and work on my valve casings, and I'll also work on getting the gunk out through the first valve and the second valve tuning slide casings. That little chunky green thing, that just came out of this pipe right here. Right there, this pipe right here on my third valve sled. Now look at that shine. Wow. Okay, so when you depress on your spit valves, if that helps you get the slide back in easier and depressing the valve at the same time, feel free and go for it. Remember, when you're putting your third valve slide back in, you want to put in your little, there we go, where's the camera? Right there, you want to put your screw back in. Once you get your screw, you want to put that back in through the bottom, so that way you're not going to lose your third valve tuning slide. And when you're playing, I have grease on my hands right now, I don't want to get it too greasy, but when you depress on your third valve, let's just example that, you can hear it opening, and when you push, it stops. When you put that screw in, it's not gonna keep going, like it's gonna stop, so you won't lose your third valve slide, which is great. So everything on the trumpet is now put back together, and it just got a very nice clean shine to it. So yeah, that is how you clean a trumpet, disassemble, and put everything back together.